When we talk about customer loyalty, what are we really talking about? Most businesses think they've got it figured out, but honestly, they're usually just seeing half the story. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the two numbers that reveal whether your customers are true fans or if they're basically just trapped.
So here it is, the big question. And the answer to this, it tells you everything about where your business stands and where it's headed. Are you the brand people can't wait to tell their friends about, or are you the one they just tolerate? All right, let's get into the numbers and see what's really going on.
Okay, let's start with the one you've probably seen before. It's called the Net Promoter Score, or NPS for short. This is pretty much the go-to metric for figuring out customer satisfaction, basically a way to measure the love.
So what is it really? Well, at its heart, NPS is just a score. It runs from a pretty dismal -100 all the way up to a perfect +100. And it's a big deal, because a high score usually means big growth is on the horizon. Why? Because it shows you've got a legion of fans who are basically your volunteer marketing team.
All right, so how do they even get this number? It's actually super simple. Just 3 steps. First, you ask that one golden question. On a scale of 0 to 10, how likely are you to recommend us? Now, anyone who gives you a 9 or a 10, those are your promoters, your biggest fans. The 7s and 8s, they're called passives. They're fine, but they're not singing your praises. And then you've got everyone from 0 to 6. Those are your detractors.
And the math to get the final score couldn't be easier. You just take the percentage of your promoters and subtract the percentage of your detractors. So in this example here, you've got 60% promoters, you take away the 20% detractors, and bam, you get an NPS of 40. And hey, that's a pretty good score. But, and this is a big but, it is only half the story.
Okay, so let's flip the coin over. We've talked about love, now let's talk about need. This is the metric that most people haven't heard of. It's called Customer Surplus Value, or CSV.
So think about this. NPS asks a pretty gentle question, right? Would you recommend us? CSV? It gets right to the point. It asks, how much cold, hard cash would we have to pay you to give up our product for just 1 month? Whoa, see the difference? This question gets at how essential you are. What CSV is really doing is putting a price tag on the pain of leaving. It's a dollar value for how much someone's life would be disrupted if you just vanished. So a high CSV, that means you're totally woven into their daily routine. You're hard to live without. A low CSV, that means you're more of a nice to have, not a can't live without.
And let me tell you, this idea is catching on fast. This quote really nails it. CSV is the other number you need to grow. Businesses are waking up to the fact that you can't just measure love, you have to measure how sticky you are too. And CSV, that's the key.
All right, this is where things get juicy. We've got our two contenders, love measured by NPS and need measured by CSV. So let's throw some of the biggest companies on the planet into the ring and see how they stack up. I promise you, the results are fascinating.
First up, the heavyweight champion, Apple. Their NPS is a massive 72. I mean, people adore Apple. But check out their CSV, a jaw-dropping $711. Think about that. The average customer would need over $700 to give up their Apple products for a month. They don't just love it, they are completely dependent on it. This right here is the holy grail.
But hold on, here's where the plot twist comes in. Take a look at Amazon. A really good NPS of 54, right? We all love that 2-day shipping. But their CSV? A measly $19. People like it, but they're not chained to it. Now, look at AT&T. Their NPS is in the negative. People actively dislike them, and yet their CSV is over $450. You might hate your internet provider, but man, you need that internet. This right here, this is the whole point. You absolutely have to look at both numbers.
And then there's the danger zone. This is where you do not want to be. Companies like McDonald's and Meta, they're scoring low on both fronts. A negative NPS means people are unhappy, and a super low CSV, 81 cents from McDonald's, means people would ditch them for less than $1. That's a really, really fragile relationship with your customers.
So here's the full scorecard, just to give you a quick overview. You can really see the massive differences, right? You've got Apple killing it on both sides. Then there's Microsoft with a kind of meh NPS, but a really solid CSV, especially for businesses who rely on their software. It just goes to show how every brand's loyalty story is totally different.
And this quote from Harvard Business Review just ties it all together beautifully.
Think of it like this. NPS is about the good stuff, the benefits you provide. CSV is about the pain, the hassle, and cost of trying to replace you. If you want that unbreakable loyalty, you got to be great at both.
Okay, so that's the what and the why. Now for the really important part, the how. How can you actually move the needle on both of these scores? Well, let's crack open the playbook that the best companies in the world are using.
First things first, make the customer the absolute center of your universe. Apple is the king of this, right? Everything is about the user experience. Next, you have to be obsessed with quality and innovation. Think about how Netflix is always dropping new must-watch shows. And third, you've got to personalize everything. Amazon's recommendation engine, it's almost scary how well it knows what you want to buy next.
But we're not done. You also have to actually listen to what people are saying and then do something about it. Microsoft literally saved its reputation by using feedback to fix what was broken. Also, get ahead of problems. Find those little annoyances and stamp them out before people even have a chance to complain. And of course, a killer customer service team can work magic, turning an angry customer into your biggest fan.
And a couple more big ones. Don't forget to reward the people who stick with you. The Starbucks app is a perfect example of this. And here's a secret weapon. Happy employees create happy customers. It's that simple. But really, the biggest takeaway, you have to start measuring both of these things, because you can't fix what you don't even know is broken.
So when you boil it all down, it comes to this. Your customers are telling you every single day whether they love you or they need you. The only question left is, are you actually listening to the right signals? Because getting a handle on both sides of this loyalty equation, that's the real secret to building a business that lasts.